Hey, it's Chef Evelyn here, and I am back with another video. And I want to do, or I'm basically sharing with you some videos over this winter break as we enter the new year to really help you reach your personal and professional goals. And you can tell by the title of this video that this is how to create work-life balance as a woman culinary entrepreneur, because what I know is that a lot of times we can get so deeply entrenched in doing the work of our business or trying to build our business or trying to grow our business, right, that our life, that the reason why we're building this business or having this business that we're trying to enhance and grow gets put on the back burner, right? And so I want to share with you some tips and some strategies on how to bring those back into, I'm going to say harmony, not balance, but that's a video for another day. So if you don't know already, over the past couple of weeks, we did a series here on the channel called the ChefCare series, and I'm excited to let you know that we have turned that series into a super class. It's going to be happening January 10th through the 13th of 2020, right? So if you're watching this after 2020, the tips in this video are still good. You can go get on the wait list for the next one that'll be happening probably a year from now, right? But in that class, we're going to walk through my 12-step strategy on how to accomplish any personal or professional goal that you can use in any area of your life so that you can create strategically, step by step, that balance, that harmony between your professional life and your work life. So if you go to chefevelyn.com/superclass, all of the details, the agenda, what we're going to go over, right? It is a workshop, right? So you're actually going to be creating your 2022 strategic plan in those 4 days. It's going to be live. There's going to be a pop-up community. It is going to be fantastic. It will be better than any vision board you could ever create, right? And let me tell you, as someone who is a former vision board addict, what I can tell you is the year that I stopped doing vision boards and I started doing this process instead, I accomplished more on my vision board, more of my goals than I had ever when I had vision boards, right? So go on over to chefevelyn.com/superclass, register, right? Because we're getting started January 10th. Registration is going to close Sunday, January the 9th. You want to grab your spot and then come back and finish watching this video. Okay, so let's get into how to create work-life balance as a woman culinary entrepreneur. And you know me, if you've been around for any amount of time, I've got my notes. But if you're new here, welcome, okay? Welcome to the channel. I hope that you stick around. And there's a couple of different playlists on this channel to really help you enhance your business and your life as a female chefpreneur. So let's get into the tips on how to create work-life balance. And let me say this, right? The reason why I wanted to do this video is because when I was still working in the kitchen, I wasn't doing what I'm doing now, which is, teaching you how to grow your business. I remember that I decided one day that I didn't want to work nights, weekends, and holidays. And, at the time, I remember thinking, like, there's no way that I can be in this industry and not work nights, weekends, and holidays, because that's when people want to celebrate. That's when people want to go out to eat. That's when people want to hire, a private chef, all of the things, right? And I was like, but I too deserve work-life balance, work-life harmony, if you will, right? And so for me, because when I was in engineering, because when I was working in different culinary jobs, I used to work overnight and I used to have to work the weekends and I used to have to work the holidays. I realized that I was missing out on time with my family and friends. The holidays would come around and by the time I was off, I was exhausted. So I could barely even enjoy the holiday season, right? Because I'd be working right up until the last minute, sometimes working on the actual day of the holiday, depending on what the demands were at the time. And I would be working in the evenings or on the weekends when my friends and my family were getting together. And I was like, how am I supposed to have a personal and social life if I'm working all the time, right? You know, maybe you're married and you have children and you're like, I want to do this, but I want to be at home with my family. Or maybe you're not married and you want to get married and you're like, how am I supposed to date if I'm going to be working every night, weekend, and holiday, right? Or maybe you want to spend more time with your friends or your extended family. Maybe you just want to sit at home on your couch every now and again and watch your favorite show. There's no right or wrong answer here, but I remember thinking like, I would be at home during the day, you know, when everybody else was at work, and then I'd be work when everybody else was out and socializing. And I really felt like I missed out on so many years because I just felt like that's what I had to do, right? And then one day I said, you know what would it look like? What would it take to not work on nights, weekends, and holidays, right? And that was my first step into creating work-life balance and boundaries and harmony as a chefpreneur. So let's walk through these quick tips, and then I won't hold you long because I know you're on vacation and you've been wanting to rest. And so the first thing is, and it's basically what I just explained to you, is you really have to define what work-life balance looks like for you, right? You may not mind working nights, weekends, and holidays. You may want to be at home. Maybe, you know, maybe you have children and they're at home and you want to be at home with them in the daytime. Maybe you have a spouse, a partner, a significant other who also works nights and weekends, and so you work during the daytime and you're like, I don't want to do that because I want to be with them, right? Whatever it is, you know, maybe it's like, I only want to work on the weekends when I want to work on the weekends and I don't want to feel obligated to work on the weekends or in the evenings, right? Maybe it's like, I don't care about any of that. I want to take more vacation, right? Maybe it's like, you know what? I still want to go to the spa. I still want to travel. I still want to go to my all-inclusive resorts, right? Whatever the case may be, you have to decide and define what work-life balance is for you, just like it did for me, right? And a lot of times we don't know what that is, or we're afraid, like we don't really decide because we don't think we can do it because we don't know how. And at this step, it's not about the how, it's about the what. What do you want it to look like, right? If you can have it your way, okay? Listen, I'm aging myself because I think is that an old Burger King tagline? Have it your way? It might be, right? But if you can have it your way, maybe that's not Burger King. Listen, y'all, okay, I'm so random. But really getting clear about what does that look like for you specifically, okay? The next thing is you need to put your parameters in place, right? So for me, it was like, okay, I knew I wanted to spend more time with my friends. I knew I wanted to spend more time with my family. I knew I wanted to spend more time for my hobbies and my interests outside of cooking. And then I put my parameters in place. You know, it first started with, I don't work on Sundays, right? So that was the first one. Even when I was working for someone else, that was like the first, like dipping my toe into the pool of what I'm gonna do and what I'm not gonna do, okay? And then it moved to, I really don't want to work on the holidays, like, you know, and so I was still, you know, like doing dinner parties and different things on Saturdays and Friday nights and things like that, and cooking classes. But I was like, I want to be with my loved ones during the holidays. And so that was like the next parameter. And then it got to the point where it's like, I don't want to work on Saturdays. I want a day of rest, right? So Sundays were my day to prepare for the week. Then Saturdays became my day of rest, right? So now we have no Saturdays, we have no Sundays, and we have no holidays. And then once I finally said, I really don't want to work in the evenings all the time, right? I want to have that time and space available. And so I put my parameters in place, right? So for you, your parameters may be different. You need to define that. So you need to define what you want work-life balance to look like and feel like for you. And then secondly, you need to put the parameters in place that says, okay, this is my boundary around my time, right? And then I had to be ferocious about not just holding other people accountable, setting a boundary with other people, but holding myself accountable to that boundary, right? The third thing I had to do is, once I made those decisions, is I really had to adjust my business model, right? Because, you know, a lot of times we want to put these boundaries in place. We want this work-life balance. We want this work-life harmony. And sometimes the current business model that we have is not conducive to that, right? So if you do romantic dinners, most people are not having romantic dinners at 10 o'clock in the morning, right? They're not having them on the middle of the day on a Wednesday, right? They want them in the evening. They may do it during the week, which I definitely used to do that, right? I used to do dinner parties during the week, but they may want Friday night, they may want Saturday night, they may want Sunday, they may want you to do it for a holiday, right? And I remember the last time that I worked on a holiday, I worked for a family on Thanksgiving Day. And I remember being like, it didn't matter what they paid me, it wasn't enough, because then it was over. And, you know, I had lost that holiday with my family. And I thought to myself, you only get so many of these with the people that you love. You know, as people get older and they pass on, you know, there's only, you know, it's like when you think about your childhood, like there's 18 summers. So there's 18 holidays. And so even as an adult, I was like, wow, I spent another holiday working, and I was like, and it just, no matter what they pay me, it wasn't worth it, right? And so I had to go, okay, if you don't want to work on from my parameters, if you don't want to work nights, if you don't want to work weekends, if you don't want to work holidays, right, then you have to change your business model. Maybe your work-life balance is you want to work from home as a chef, right? Which is very possible. Okay, I do that, have done it for years, right? But I had to change my business model to accommodate what I wanted. Is one of the things we're going to be talking about in the ChefCare Superclass is how do you get really clear on what work-life boundaries and work-life balance and harmony looks like for you, because sometimes we just hear somebody say that something, and we go, oh yeah, that's what I want, and that's not really what we want, right? And so we're going to be going through a process on how you can get super clear on how it is you want to work, how it is you want to live, and then about, okay, how do I update, tweak, enhance, change, transition, start over, do what I need to do with my business model in order to have this kind of work-life balance that I desire, right? So if you have not grabbed your spot in the ChefCare Superclass, make sure you go to chefevelyn.com/superclass and grab your spot. Because listen, when folks is out here achieving their personal and professional goals, and you still sitting there with your vision board craft projects at the end of the year thinking, I didn't do it again, right? And I got the same vision board with the same goals, whatever. Don't be mad. Don't be mad, okay? And then the last thing that you need is a strategic plan on how to implement this new lifestyle. Not just business, yes, that too, you need a strategic plan for that. So as you adjust your business model, but also as you adjust your lifestyle, right, things are going to be different. It's like, how do you do this systematically, particularly if you're not the only person, you know, that this is going to affect, right? How do you create a plan, a map, right, on how to start to maneuver your lifestyle and maneuver your business in such a way that it gives you that lifestyle that you've always wanted. It gives you the lifestyle that's the whole reason why you started your business in the first place, right? And so again, that strategic plan, if you don't know what needs to go in that, if you don't know what you need to know, then how are you going to do it? Because here's the thing, if you knew how to do it, you would have done it already, right? And so that is not judgment. That is to say, sometimes we don't know what we don't need to know, but we can learn what we don't know, right? And we can learn what we need to know to get what we want. And that's what we're going to be doing in the ChefCare Superclass. So I hope you enjoyed this video. What are some things that are already swimming around in your mind about how you want to have more work-life balance in the new year? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to register for the Superclass. Go to chefevelyn.com/superclass, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.